Hey guys, I want to go over some cards that have been shown for 30th anniversary. I'm not going to go over really any of the collector stuff. I'm not really a collector person. I'm going to go over cards that are being released for players for everyone, so everyone can see how they are, and I'm going to base them on my opinion as well. There is a card I've looked through, and there's a card that's missing. It's the Wishy Washy, which I will go over at the end. So first card we have is Victini, has a move for Call for Family and the move V-Flame. It's not very good. 80th anniversary. 80 HP, so you can't be looking for Buddy Buddy Poffins, but for easy, pre-made decks, this could be a very good card for, a fire-type pre-made deck because of the Call for Family. But other than that, it has no use. Next, we have Greninja EX with a big 300 HP. Has the first move, Stealthy Slash. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on that Pokemon. That's actually not a bad move, especially with Munkidori right now, prevailing in the meta. But, it's only one energy, and it could probably be mixed also with the Mega Greninja EX as well. You put 60 damage onto them, and then you do Stealthy Strike, do 30 to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on that, so you're just doing a lot more damage after you use Mega Greninja's ability. And then you have Aqua Edge, which won't be used at all either. It's just 160 for 2 energies. The other one's just so much better. Next we have Jirachi. I went over this in my other video. Wish Granter. Draw cards until you have 7 in your hand. For one colorless. This is actually really strong. It has a weak HP though of 160 for a basic EX. But it can be put into any deck, and Swift is not bad either. This attack isn't affected by weakness or resistance, or by any effect of your opponent's Pokemon. This can one-shot Crustle if they don't have a Hero's Cape or any growing energies on them, which is a thing that people need. Mega Lopunny takes up, 2 slots, probably even more, and it's a Mega, and the Dunsparce also takes up more spots, but the Dunsparce thing is better because you have it while you're drawing already. So this card might not be used, but if you don't have a Dunsparce draw engine, you can always shove this in, and it does really well. But it's 3 colorless, which is a bit hefty, but it's steel, so you can also... Metal Maker goes to anything, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because he works with Chinchino. There's gotta be something we can do with this card. And we got Pikachus. There's a lot of Pikachus that are being released, which I'm not interested in because it's just collector stuff. If you want to, I'm going to go through slowly so you guys can read them and look at the artwork. The artwork's really cute, but not really interesting. I get this one, the head trying to poke through like an actual cat. This one, I'm guessing that's like what the new hollows are going to be, or cosmetic, or not cosmetic, the cosmics. All right, here we go. Pikachu EX. Pika Pika Parade. Search your deck for any number of basic Pokemon and put them on your bench, then shuffle your deck. This is very strong. It's like a Precious Trolley, but you take some move, which isn't actually that hefty of a cost. The only problem is that people can boss this up, but with a Tome, I don't know what the exact words of the Tome is, but with a Tome, you can change this Pikachu to another basic. So if you play Zoroark, maybe if you can just shove it with an Zorua, or something that's like maybe an electric deck, which I might actually run this in my Manectric, maybe a 1 copy, then, oh no, I don't run Tome, but let's say I did, then I'll Tome it for like a Tynamo or like an Electrike or something. Thunderbolt is not good, discard all energy and it does 200, but it also again has a weak HP of 190, but I can see this one being used. Then we have another Pikachu EX, same HP, 190, and it has Zip Zap Frenzy. You may attach any number of basic energy cards from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. So you have a Pokemon Search one, and you have an Energy Acceleration one. It does have the same move, but this one does 30 damage to itself. I think this one's a bit better for that move, but I want to see you guys using it anyways. Zip Zap Frenzy is okay, especially with all the Energy Acceleration we have already. We don't really need this card, but, maybe, again, for pre-made decks, these 2 Pikachus can be used. Then we have a new Zeraora. This is like our 5th Zeraora that we have in the rotation right now. It has Rapid Draw, 20 damage, draw a card, An Electro Bullet, 50 damage, and this attack does 20 to one of your opponent's bench. This is just not good. You have a better Zeraora, and that better Zeraora is already getting play stamps of it. This one is just probably a collector's item. I don't think anybody's going to use it. Then we have Espeon with Miraculous Shine for 2 energies. 1 Psychic, 1 Colorless, so Crispin can work. Devolve each of your opponent's evolved Pokemon by putting the highest stage evolution card into your opponent's hand. This can be very, very fun. I've been having a lot of fun with the Frostmoth Vanillix deck, and there's no de-evolution cards. So this one could be really, really good with that, because I mean, there's also the Uxie card, which I think is better than the Frostmoth, which I found out Uxie exists yesterday, for the card. So I can just Uxie Espeon, which could be really fun. You just put a bunch of damage counters on your opponent, and then you just devolve everything, knocking out everything. The problem is, if you go after a basic, it's kind of not going to work. That's why I think the Vanillix in it will help. The Ends Vanillix, I should put. I want to make a deck list about that, but I'm going to wait until this Espeon comes out. Then we have Espeon EX for 260. Solar Beatdown. This attack does 30 damage for each of your opponent's it's each of your Pokemon in play. This is it's a stronger Lily's Clefairy for 2 energies as well. I don't think it's for in play, so the active does count, so it's 180 plus 180, which is 360, which is actually a lot of damage. I don't know. I mean, you can mix this with Accompanying Flute and that Sableye card that's coming out in Deltarune, but I don't know if anybody's going to really use this Espeon. Maybe in some sort of Psychic box. We do need some high Psychic attackers, which this one does do, but I don't know. I'm not going to see myself play it. I will collect it just so I can make deck videos on it. Oh, we have Sylveon EX. I forgot this card was here. Colorful Harmony for 3 energies, 1 psychic, 2 colorless, 50 times, attack does 50 damage for each type of basic energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So there's 8 different energies right now in the format, so it does I think it's 400. 9 is 450. So it does 400 damage maxed out. I don't think this is very useful. I don't think it's good compared to the Espeon. 270, it does have 10 more HP. I don't think this is good. Unless you don't want to be weak to Dark, but Steel is kind of dangerous, especially Excadrill right now. But, I don't see it good for use for that. Nidorina. Once during your turn, you may use this ability, heal 30 damage from one of your Pokemon. This can be actually really good, but I don't think so. I run Shuckle in the Mega Kangaskhan. This won't work because it's an evolution, but share happiness if there's a good Nidoking and a good Nidoqueen card. This could be really good. Alolan Meowth for a free attack, Payday, 10 damage, and draw a card. Draw a card is very strong. We have a Pichu that does 30 and draw a card for free. This one doesn't have free retreat though, but this also has 60 HP, so this could be very nice. But Dragapult still one-shots it just like always. But this actually is pretty nice. I do like the attack. Umbreon, the Sleepy Umbreon. And it has the move Retaliate for 1 dark. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack during your last turn, this attack does 100 more. So 130. Nothing crazy. I don't see this being used. We already have Chi-Yu, which is just so much better. Umbreon EX. I do like that artwork. I'm not a big Umbreon fan, but I do like that. As Umbreon EX, 270, just like Sylveon. Lunatic Claw. 1 dark, 1 colorless. If your opponent's active already has any damage counters on it, this attack does 140 to 240. 240 is actually a lot of damage for a stage 1, and you can mix it with the Munkidori Frostlass, so you're just doing more and more damage than what it actually says. I think this actually might be used in that type of deck. It's kind of like the Feraligatr, and it's easier to set up than that Mega Feraligatr. So I think this will be used. It's a good dark, and also Petrarunt really helps too, especially with the Binding Mochi, because you get 280. Meowth, Payday. No one's going to use this one. Everyone's going to go towards the other one because it's a free attack. This one, I don't see what the point of that is. 2 for 30. You also have Peach, you can just do 30, draw a card. Eevee. Fetch and hide. Your opponent reveals their hand. You put an item card in from... Okay, that's actually a pretty nice disruption attack. But no one's going to use this Eevee because we have the other one with that evolution ability. And this one's just there. Then we have this Eevee. Flip a coin. Nothing crazy. Another Eevee. Oh, they're great. They're going to make an Eevee. I mean, it's 30th anniversary. I got to expect it. Lapras. Ferry across. Search your deck for a supporter. Reveal it and put it in your hand and shuffle your deck. Nothing crazy. Flip a coin if heads. Your opponent's active is now paralyzed. Nothing crazy as well. But the artwork is really adorable with the Psyduck and Spheal. Drifloon. Float up. You may shuffle this Pokemon and all attached cards into your deck. No. Maybe a Drifloon would be nice, but this is not great. Lycanroc. Midnight form. Counter. If a Pokemon was damaged by an attack during your opponent's last turn, this attack does that much more damage. You're going to get one-shot by most big attacks, so I don't see that's being useful. Then we have a Meowth, which have you already seen it. Hisuian Zorua, so we're going to get Hisuian Zoroark. Maybe an EX of that would be cool. Scratch, 20. Oh, Meowth. Mewtwo EX. Photon Bullets. This attack does 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon EX. This is Flygon's move, but I think Flygon's is 100. This one's okay. I don't see it going to be used, maybe. I mean, it's a basic, and it's 2 Psychic, which isn't hard to get. Then we have 3 Psychic powers. During your opponent's next turn, this can't use attacks. I think the Photon, and you mix it with another, Spirit Tomb or Vanillix type of move. I don't know. Has to be done to EXs, though, so I don't think it's going to be good. Mew EX, Memory Helix. This attack, or this Pokemon, can use any attacks of any of your bench Pokemon. You still need the necessary energy. And as the move Teleport, 30, you may switch this Pokemon with one of your bench. It does have free retreat, but I don't think this will be used like the 151 Mew, because the move is so horrid, and the ability isn't the Genome, I think not the Genome having, whatever the Draw Engine one was. I don't think this will be used even with the free retreat. Charizard. And these are all the collecting ones. I'm not going to talk about them, but I'm going to go through slowly. I think that's all. No, there's even more. That one, my Only Gaze, maybe? As long as it's in the active, your opponents do. No. None of these are... What's that? Overriding Bolt? Defending Pokemon is really not weak to electric. No. All of them, I mean... That's all the cards right now. There is a Wishy-Washy that I'm going to talk about. The Wishy-Washy's ability is for each Wishy-Washy, or if your Wishy-Washy EX or Wishy-Washy gets damage in the active, the amount of Wishy-Washy on your bench makes your opponent's active take 30 more. So if you get hit for... it doesn't matter how much you get hit. Let's say you get hit and you have 4 Wishy-Washys on your bench or in play. Your opponent will take 120 damage. And that's a lot, especially if you're the Wishy-Washy EX doing 220 already. So 220 plus the 120, that's 340. That is a lot of damage, especially with Misty's Vitality to charge it up, and it's a basic, and it's not hard to get the Wishy-Washys up. You just gotta be careful because the Wishy-Washy babies have 30 health. So your best bet is to shove a Rell or Rapska in there, maybe a 2-2 line, so it doesn't get nuked by any Dragapult or Kyurem or any of those type of Pokemon. But what are your thoughts on the 30th anniversary?